In the news for May, what is the date? May the what? You tell me what the date is. Anybody know? I'm just kidding. It's going to be May the 15th, 2015. May the 15th. I want to tell you, our volcanoes around the world, known as the region called the Ring of Fire, are all either erupting or getting ready to erupt. There's a lot of activity, increased activity all around the world right now. This is not being reported in the news, but a lot of people that seismologists are really concerned about this. And also, due to Russia, the Chinese, because of some of the advancements that they made, our satellites up in space, communication defense systems up there, may be at risk due to China's testing, that our satellites could become vulnerable out in space, which would affect a lot of our systems here on Earth, in the United States, and also in other places of the world. I mean, they're becoming sort of like a threat to the United States' security and well-being, which is not being reported on the regular news, but we're covering it for you today. More information about the train 105 in Philadelphia, the crash that killed, actually another person was found dead, and 235 and about 40 people that had real bad injuries. Another person was found dead, and they say that speed was a factor. They don't know why there was an increase after 9:45 p.m. in the evening, but there was an increase from 75 miles an hour to 106 miles an hour, and they believe that speed was a factor. Investigators are looking into that right now and have been for the last couple of days. Just to give you an update on the Philadelphia horrific train crash that happened there around that curve that was not designed for that type of speed in the first place. Speed only there was correction, not 55, but in that area where the crash happened was only supposed to be around 50 miles an hour. And they went over more than 2 times that speed, which is very unsafe and very dangerous. So more investigations are going on with that too. And we also want to tell you that they are censoring speech over in Europe. They are censoring speech in England, telling people, trying to patent words that people say so they can try to censor your speech. Like I'm telling you, if we don't stand up for this stuff, it's going to happen here, folks. This is political correctness on steroids. And this is what happens as a result when you have a bunch of people that go crazy with political correctness, telling you what you can say, what you cannot say. And these are not just people in general, but they're like groups, the government, where they want to censor and patent certain words that you use, which could actually get you in trouble by law enforcement in the future if this happens here in the United States. There are lots of changes happening. That's part of the TPP agreement, which is the Pacific Partnership Agreement. Pacific Trade, it's TTP, I'm sorry. Pacific Trade Partnership Agreement is what that stands for. They don't have the A on there, but that's what it is. TTPA is what I would call it. And it does not have nothing to do with just trade. It makes it sound like it. Sounds like it's okay with the internet, but it's tricky language in there, folks. It's talking about taking away your internet, taxing it every way they can, in every aspect, charging you for a carbon tax as part of that bill. It has to do with a lot more than just the internet, and have to do with fair trade. They want to basically, part of that bill, like we're starting to see in Europe, and even here also in America we're seeing it, where they're running out small businesses like mom and pop shops and only allowing the big corporate stores to come in, and then once they run out the competition, then they raise the prices. And that's what we see some that Walmart's doing, places like Walmart, Target. Just to give you a couple examples, they are doing some tactics like that with their corporations. Evidence that we see signs of that already in the world is also coming here more and more, starting to take effect. Look at all the outsourcing that they've done with all the businesses and factories to textile industries in the United States, where they have taken those things and moved them overseas for our so that they can save a lot of money. No, that was their way of outsourcing this stuff so that it would actually make this more costly for people to be able to survive in America, and that way we would lose our competitive edge. That's the goal of the TTP agreement, and that's really what it has to boil down to. And by taking your way of work, that means the wage for America would go down, which means we would become a third world nation, which is what their goal is. Even more reports, even Yellowstone is picking up in tremor activity too as well. And all the volcanoes around the world, a lot are erupting or getting ready or on the verge to erupt. And even Yellowstone is picking up in steam too, a lot more here lately, just recently. So we don't know what that's about. Could be the sign of the time where God's going to shake the world one less time before he returns, as it says in the Bible, that there'll be a violent earthquake like there was when Christ died on the cross. It was recorded that there was a worldwide earthquake that was very violent in nature, which raised the dead, caused weird things supernaturally to occur. They say that type of earthquake could similarly happen again before the return of Christ, as it is noted in Revelation chapter 19 and 20, and makes reference of it in chapter 21 of the letter of Revelation. So we just want to bring that to you. And then also, help us out, support us, subscribe down below. Let me know what you think about some of these podcasts, because I do work very hard on them. The whole thing is we have a war on people who are disabled. A lot of people do take advantage of people who are handicapped, even though a lot of people don't want to admit it, and they'll make excuses for themselves because they have prideful or controlling issues. And what happens is a lot of people think when they're better than another person, they tend to cancel those people out. And that's what's happening in a lot of churches. Like I see that some of my family, like with EL and with the way my family has treated me too, because they don't want to help me when they should help me more because I do have a handicap. They should be more supportive, which they are not. And the thing is, that's what I'm saying. When you know somebody has a dream and you want to help, most families do help their people. They don't just sit there and let them hang and let them suffer. But a lot of times, that's why the church attendance here isn't really picking up that much. That's why a lot of people don't come here, because of that very reason. I do believe it has something to do with that, and they don't think that I know or have what it takes to be a minister, and that's what it really, really boils down to. Which I do. I know I can preach, and I know I can teach. But I think my family has a lot to do with this. Now, they can sit there and lie, make excuses all they want, but I know they have something to do with this underhandedly. So what I'm saying is, be a part of the solution. Let's all work together and stop this childish, foolish facade of behavior. We're supposed to be serving each other and building people up for Christ, not tearing people down. We're supposed to be a part of the solution, not creating more problems and taking away people's opportunities to serve in the kingdom of God. We're supposed to be working for each other and upbuilding people, whether they have a disability or not. I know people who are blind who have their own churches, and they're in the Church of Christ body that are preachers, and there are youth ministers that are blind that are doing the job as a regular person, because A, they can do it, and B, they have the knowledge and skills and ability to do it, just like I do. But because there's a lot of prejudice out there, and a lot of ignorance, and a lot of stupidity, because of the way people act, that's why I'm not given the same opportunities as everybody else. There is a real war in this country when it comes to people with disabilities and the elderly. A lot of people think when you reach a certain age, oh, you're no use. We got to fire them. So they'll make up a reason to get rid of you. Give you a package, a severance package. That's what a lot of companies do today. And they'll try to say, well, it's not about you getting fired because of your age, but really it is. Because they feel like they want the younger talent in there and they want to pay somebody to save them a lot of money so they can pay them a lesser wage to get them to do more than what you did when you were making more. And that's really what it's about, so they can save money and get rid of you because they say you're too old to be working. And where do they have the right to do that? And of course, some of these people have been sued for that. But there's a lot of that going on in the workplace too, folks. And it's wrong. And that's why we need to bring notes and debate and talk about it. Because everybody has and deserves a fair shot, just like you got the shot. It doesn't matter who you are. They get the same opportunities. That's what this America was really signed on for, that everybody would be treated equally. That's the way it's supposed to be, but it's not like that. No, it's not like that at all. See, we need to look at each other and treat each other like the way we want to be treated, like Jesus said. Love your neighbor. And that's what he meant by that, as you love yourself. It does not mean to sit there and just be selective about it or try to BS about it like a lot of people often do. We need to treat each other with respect, and we need to show love and equality for each other. That's what Jesus taught in the Gospels. We need to be open to what we can't see and what we don't understand. And when somebody's different from us, we still need to be accepting of them and let them in. It's not about their disability or what they look like. It's about what they can do. That's what essentially is about. not about what they look like or how they act, or maybe they're different from you, or maybe they don't say things the right way you do, or talk the same language like some people told me, and I speak very fine, very clearly. But because I have a disability, I don't speak the same language to them because I don't fit in their group. That's what they're saying. That's the real code behind that. It's not because I don't speak the same words or use the same vocabulary. It's because they don't want me in the group. Just that's what they do with a lot of handicapped people. So they try to put you somewhere so you're out of sight and you're out of mind. Like say in a housing community. See? And see, that's the whole thing. We all got to work together. It's not about if we're disabled or not. We need to love people. We need to start loving again. Where is the love? That's why people have gotten this way in the church. Because people have gotten frazzled. They think, hey, it's all about what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter. I'm more concerned about my image instead of doing the right thing. And that's what it should be about, doing the right thing, about what God says in His Word, not about what we think about compromising because I'm so concerned about my image. Do you understand? That's what it's about. It's a lot of people just so more concerned about doing policy instead of doing the ethical thing, the right thing, the unpopular thing, because they want to compromise so they can make everybody happy. But at the same time, they're going to hell because they're not doing the right thing. And it's not about that. So that's what we need to understand, folks. This is Michael DeSilvis in the news, spiritual news, for May the 14th or 15th, 2015. See you later. Make sure you subscribe and donate. It's very important because we need them right now at this time. Call me up, 804-789-9373 for more details. If you want to send a donation, please send it to us at 7110 New Hunter Road, apartment 423, Mechanicsville, Virginia 23111. It's just so important, folks. We have a small church here, but we could do a lot more with the money you send in. And believe me, you'll be blessed because you did so. I'm not going to get up there like Pratt Robertson and tell you some false doctrine and say that every time you give, you're going to be blessed. Because the Bible doesn't teach it that way. You do get blessed, but it doesn't say it's always in success or money. But Pat Robertson seems to think it is, but he's totally wrong. But it does teach that you will be blessed. It doesn't say exactly as to what. But that's what the scriptures, the way I read it, says. So anyway, I'll see you later. This is Michael DeSilvis. Subscribe down below and tell people who you know. Spread the word. Get involved. Let's do something for change. Let's be fair to everyone. Let's treat everybody with respect, and let's treat everybody with kindness and love. See you later. Peace. Evangelist Michael DeSilvis from New Hunter Church of Christ in the news segment.